Welcome to Strip Curlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And here we are, with nothing really to talk about.
The grand finale Ultimo. The wrap-up. The final. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Sort of a free day.
Not a free day.
Sort of a free spot on the strip
No,
cover.
we're going to finish up this book here. This is always a very popular segment. People want to hear your final thoughts on the book before we move to the next book.
It's the same as the last few books.
Yeah.
Nothing really changed.
Yeah. So before we get too far into it here, we did finish up the last two chapters. We have The Lost Prophecy, chapter 37, and 38, The Second War Begins. Do you have any fleeting thoughts about those last two chapters?
Would you like to summarize them?
I would. We have The Lost Prophecy, where we do find
Because
out...
I don't remember what happened.
Okay. We have The Lost Prophecy, where Dumbledore basically shows back up at Hogwarts, sits Harry down, and tells him about the prophecy of which he smashed in the Department of Mysteries. And that's really it. We find out a little bit about Harry and Voldemort. Only one may live. One must kill the other. Sirius is dead. This has been brought back, hammered in.
This is the first time we have an adult saying Cialis is dead, but I don't know that it's
Cialis is dead. He's not rising back. Anyway,
rise again.
And we get a little nod towards Neville Longbottom. Neville is more important than we thought because he might have been the actual prophecy.
No, we just get a reminder that Neville is not important. That's what we get.
And honestly, the last chapter is the summation chapter. It wraps the book up. Harry's going back to the Dursleys, where he's protected. That's a good thing. But he's going to be in contact with the Weasleys and the Order of the Phoenix now. All is well.
Yeah, a little bit of browbeating there, huh?
All is well. So any good thoughts about this? Any good feelings? Anything you want to talk about here?
So the chapter with Diddley-Door and Mr. Poitier, were there any revelations there that we didn't know before? Like there was. So I get that we didn't necessarily know that one of them had to die. But obviously that is not true because Mr. Poitier is 17 at this point? 16, 17?
This is the fifth book, so he's 15.
15? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's stupid. So he's 15 at this point, and Moldy Voldy's been around this whole time. So obviously they can exist at the same time.
Okay.
It's been 15 years of this shit.
Basically, from the prophecy, we get that Harry Potter was destined to defeat Voldemort. Either Harry Potter or Neville Longbottom. But old Voldemort doubled down and said, it's going to be Harry Potter. The Longbottoms piss on him. I mean, they're worthless. Their kid's going to be worthless. And the prophecy was revealed that in the end, only one may live. One must kill the other. So, where's that going? Any thoughts on that?
He's already been referred to as the boy that lived.
Yeah.
So.
I do think we get some good things going on here in this chapter, The Lost Prophecy. The comments section will agree with me that Harry is having some good character development here, coming into his own. And this is the first time that he really challenges Dumbledore. And we get a little quote here, and I don't care if you don't like it or not, I thought it was good from old J.K. Harry, I owe you an explanation, said Dumbledore, an explanation of old man's mistake. For I see now that what I have done and not done with regard to you bears all the hallmarks of the failings of old age. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels, but old men are guilty if they forget what it is to be young, and I seem to have forgotten lately. That's a nice little touch there. That is nice. I'm okay with that.
It only took us
826 pages and 5 books to get there, but yeah, it's okay. It's a good little quote. Do we want to talk about the comments section before we delve into this a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. A lot of people have been demanding that I inform you who is the actress that portrays Bellatrix Lestrange in the movie. And that's Helen...
So Bellatrix is the bad lady that pops up in this book, right?
Yep. Yes. That is Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, of course it is.
Of course it is.
So we figured who else would it have been?
People love the fact that you cannot remember the names, so you just make them up. And much to my pissed off begrudgment, it's apparently a good thing. People like it.
It pisses me off when you make up words like begrudgment.
What did I go for there? What was I trying to get there? Sometimes I just go with things and I say it and hope you don't notice. Like the Dr. Seuss of BookTube right now.
A lot of times I know I just let it go.
Fair enough. I appreciate it.
There's no point in saying anything at this point. It's out there. It's on film.
It's done. It's not going to get edited. We don't have that technology.
Sometimes you'll say some word that no one knows and I'll just do one of these. Eye contact with whoever's watching and go back to...
One of my favorite comments, though. Someone basically said, is Adrian even trying at this point? Or is he just coming up with things that he knows will piss Dalton off?
I don't know if that's fair. I'm also trying really hard to piss you off. Everyone out there in YouTube land. That's a bothersome quote.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's difficult. I will admit to the fact that I don't want to be trying. I will admit to the fact that this sucks at this point.
There was a comment as well on an older Harry Potter video where you brought something up. It was a video you filmed solo, so it was when I wasn't here. Someone was just like, damn, the insight from that Adrian Fort character.
Yeah, I've got it.
And which, honestly, it's a thing. Every now and then you say something like, shit, he hit the nail on the head with that. But anyway, I would like to get to this part here, and the Second War begins. Page 849, another little quote for you. I just wanted to let it seep in, let it breathe here.
I think I know what you're going for.
Do you? Do you know? Let's
I saw
see
clip clopping
here.
on the page.
Did you see that clip clopping? Oh, I should have highlighted this, but of course I didn't, because that's what I do with my life. Yeah, she shows signs of life. If you do this, said Ron. With his tongue, he made a soft clip-clopping noise. Umbridge sat bolt upright, looking wildly around. Anything wrong, Professor? Called Madame Pomfrey, poking her head around the office door. No, no, said Umbridge, sinking back into her pillows. No, I must have just been dreaming.
No. What's the next line?
Hermione and Ginny muffled their laughter in their bedclothes.
Who did?
Hermione and Ginny.
Who did?
Hermione and Ginny?
I'll be damned. The two girls. If you want to go one step further, there is, as she is leaving, what is she being beaten with?
What is she being beaten with? I'm not sure. Tell me.
She's being beaten with sticks and socks full of chalk. What does that look like? Obviously, a stick is phallic.
Fair.
You throw a bunch of chalk into a sock, what does it look like?
A little bulbous.
It is bulbous.
A little round and bulbous there. I figured you'd enjoy that.
I did not.
Okay. But anyway, those are just the two
I'm not a
chapters here.
fan of rape in children's literature, Dalton. What are you implying?
Adrian, as a whole, this is your fifth Harry Potter book. How did you feel about this one? In the grand scheme of things.
It feels a lot like the first four.
Okay.
I really... That's one thing that has been... That is one thing that has perturbed me about this series, is that as a writer, J.K. does not seem to have learned any new tricks, does not seem to have turned any corners. Every once in a while, what was it, the third book, I think, that started off much different than the other two, Through the Eyes of the Snake or whatever. But after that, I mean, we go right back to the same tropes and things.
Okay. Now, somebody did bring up a comment, something that I've never thought of and I didn't realize. I'm not sure if this is a true thing or just an observation. But they claim that the books mirror each other. The first book mirrors the seventh book. The second mirrors the sixth. The third, Prisoner of Azkaban, mirrors Order of the Phoenix. And the only standalone book is the fourth book, the one you finished before, Goblet of Fire. And that is the turnaround point. It's when Cedric Diggory dies. Things change. Harry moves into adulthood. And now the novels begin to mirror each other.
There's a name for that, but I don't know
what it is. And this person who left the comment did have the name, and it's left me as well. So I would like to keep that in mind. That's interesting on my behalf, too, because I've never thought of that.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep that in mind. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so I'm going to hope this sixth book has some, points here for the second book, and we get a bit of a Mirror's Edge going on.
Remind me of the second book. What happened in the second book? The first one was the Basilisk, right?
That was the second book.
With Ginny?
Yes, that is the Chamber of Secrets. The first book was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The second one was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, where they go into the chamber and they defeat the Basilisk.
Oh, okay.
The third book was when Sirius is broken out of the Azkaban prison, and Sirius enters Harry's life.
Okay. That's the third one?
Yes, which would mirror the fifth book, where Sirius leaves Harry's life.
Wait, there's two more books?
Yes.
God damn it.
Oh, you'll be all right. Now, the next book we're getting into is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Year 6. Any preliminary thoughts?
I thought it was the last one.
No, there's a seventh one, too, and it's one of the longer ones. Isn't that nice?
How much longer does it get, Dalton? This is 900 pages.
They're all about equal to this size now, so you've got two more. I like Half-Blood Prince, and I love the last one, which is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
So they just sound stupid. They just sound dumb.
Okay.
I've got one thing to talk about here, but I'm not sure if I want to.
Go on.
Well, I don't know how much trouble I want to get in.
I think you want to get into a lot of trouble. This is the grand finale Ultimo. Adrian needs some trouble.
All right. So, if something happens once in a book, it could be a character learning something. It could be an author experimenting with something.
Okay.
But if something experimenting with something in their own writing, trying to figure something out, if something happens twice, it happens twice in the same book, and it happens twice with the same character in the same book.
Happens for a reason.
We have to assume that it is now a character quirk.
Okay.
So I'm going to get into this. I don't have a lot of friends, so maybe I'm not being fair here. You've got a lot of friends.
I'd say so.
You're a very popular guy. You got a lot of guy friends, don't you?
Yeah, a handful, yes.
10?
Sure. I could probably name 10 people.
You could probably name 10. Yeah. Just throw names out there. Just throw some names out there.
Well, Jeremy and Josh are always around in my loft.
Josh.
Nathan and Matthew.
Dusky.
Matt, when he's alive.
Matt.
Do you want me to keep slinging names here?
Just to get to 10, just so we've got a populace.
Okay.
Here.
Buddy Mason, my buddy Taylor, my buddy Dan.
I think that's 9, right?
It's 9.
Yeah, it's just one more.
We'll throw Mike in there.
Mike, okay. You don't really know a Mike. You're just throwing the name out there.
Actually, 2.
Okay, so that's 10 people, right?
Okay.
I want you to put those 10 people in your mind.
All right.
How many times have you heard any of those 10 people say something to the effect of, or exhibit the action, my day sucks, yours better as well? Have any of those people ever said or made you feel that my day sucks, I want you to suffer too?
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? So I have known your last 3 girlfriends.
Okay.
Has that ever happened with any of them? My day sucks.
I'll give you 2 of them for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
2 of them for sure. 2 of them, I'm not going to say anymore. That's not my place to talk about. 2 of them for sure, right?
Okay.
So you're batting 0 out of 10 with the men. You're batting at least 2 out of 3 with the women.
Okay.
Might we say that is a feminine characteristic?
Okay.
Might we venture to say?
I see where the pissing off people's coming in, but
yeah,
yes, let's go with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And to say that it's a feminine characteristic is not to say that only women do it and men don't do it at all.
I'm guilty as hell. When I show up having a bad day, I'm like, Adrian, this is awful.
See, and that's the thing. That's why I wanted to bring this up. I'm completely ignorant to that.
Okay.
So you do that, and I'm like, well, Dalton's pissed off.
I'd also like to bring up, when you tell me to name 10 men that I consider friends, no Adrian's on that list. Not a single Adrian.
Never once.
Anyway.
So I think we have a misgendering with Harry Potter. We get this quote on 844. It seemed impossible that there could be people in the world who still desired food, who laughed, who neither knew nor cared that Sirius Black was gone forever. And this is the second time in this book we get this sentiment from him. And the first time was just a couple weeks ago when I said, I wonder if J.K. Rowling had lost a family member at this point. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was about someone dying at that point, was it? It was something bad happened, and he thought, well, how can people still eat?
Okay.
You know, how can other people's days don't suck? This is stupid. This sucks. Your day needs to suck too.
I can get where you're going with that.
I can't believe that you can eat while my day sucks.
Okay.
I think that's a misgendering.
Okay. All right. Now, if you want, I'm not going to get.
Are you sweating?
I am. I'm so nervous right now. There's some points that I think we could get into with this, and I don't want to.
Well, go ahead. No, why not?
It'll ruin things for you.
It will. Spoiler.
I don't want to spoil things, so I'm trying to waltz lightly throughout this here. But it is an interesting point. Now, if we wanted
my best friend, whenever she's having a bad day, she texts me. And I know she's having a bad day because she will immediately ask about something that she knows I'm struggling with.
Okay.
She will ask, how are your student loan payments? You don't give a good goddamn about my student loan payments.
Just want to hear your misery as well.
You're texting me out of the blue asking me about my student loan payments. What's wrong?
Okay. Fair. Now, if
Oh, I can't wait for you to have to read the comment section here.
I'm not looking through, wading through that, but I'm going
that.
wading through that. You can tell there's a little bit of a little twist on that there. Anyway, is there any grand overarching feeling towards Order of the Phoenix as compared to the other novels?
I still don't think Cialis is dead.
Okay.
When you die in a book called Order of the Phoenix, I can't believe that you're actually dead.
Okay.
I believe that Cialis will rise again.
Okay. Now, there was an interesting scene where Harry went to nearly headless Nick and even said, "Hey, Nick, you're a ghost. Does everybody come back as a ghost?" And no, Nick even said, "Well, Harry, no. That's not how it works. Your friend's dead. Your godfather's dead. It's done. It's over."
Yeah.
So he had the mirror, the two-way mirror from Sirius. He looked at it, he said, "I want to see Sirius Black." Sirius wasn't there. Sirius doesn't have a mirror in the afterlife. Sirius Black is dead.
I don't think Sirius Black is dead.
Okay, we're going to move forward.
But it does, so we get the little explanation of the fact that Sirius was actually home when Harry tried to see him through the Fire and Umbridge's office.
Yes.
Now, I made the point at the time that it would have been much more compelling had Sirius shown up.
Okay.
I still think that is the case.
Okay.
If Sirius had shown up, but he was acting weird, and Harry Potter thought that he was a projection, force ghost, or whatever.
Interesting. Another character point here that we get brought up in this novel is Snape did the right thing. It was very shortly mentioned, very briefly, but when Harry gave that cryptic message to Snape, he delivered.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore himself says, "Harry, I trust Severus Snape." So are we still feeling some double agent stuff coming on from Snape here? Is Snape just this grand arcing double agent who's fooled everyone? Or is Snape actually a good guy who just cannot get over his hatred towards Harry's father?
I'm still suspicious of his hatred towards Harry's father.
Okay, what are you feeling with that?
I don't know, but it doesn't revolve around sports.
Okay.
I will say that. And I don't think it evolves strictly around the bullying. Maybe it does.
Okay.
I mean, that would be a stronger... not that J.K. Rowling is a strong writer. That would be stronger writing
Okay.
than the sports thing.
Okay. Well, clearly that is going to come back up. We're going to learn more about that. And there's some good things going on in the next couple books. Some major life-changing events are going on. Obviously, there's this impending war with Voldemort coming. The last chapter we get is the Second War Begins. So that is going to be a lot of the themes going forward with this. So if you do want to look at these novels as kind of like a plot setting here,
Right.
well, you have your build-up, you have your climax, you have your change where Cedric Diggory dies, and now Harry's an adult. And we're moving into the more adult themes. He's joining the Order of the Phoenix, a group of adult wizards who have been basically defending the realms, if you will. Things are going to be a lot different from henceforth. It's not going to be the typical, oh, Harry goes to school to learn this, and he uses this to do this. This is going to be Harry coming into his own from henceforth.
It's still going to start at the Dursleys, though, isn't it?
I believe so. But the Dursleys do play an important role, and Dumbledore brings that up himself. The reason that Harry stayed with the Dursleys...
Well, 6 books in, she realized she had to have a reason.
The reason Harry stays with the Dursleys is not because, it's just a terrible situation, that's all that works. Harry is safe there. And Harry's safety has always been Dumbledore's priority. That's a very important thing going on here.
It's kind of dumb.
Okay. I feel like there is just no cooperation from you for this.
There was something I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what it was now.
Okay.
Something
Weighing on the brain?
Moldavort was very Hitler-esque in something, and I can't remember what it was now.
Okay.
I thought I had it marked, but I guess I do not.
Well, we've made the argument many times that this is a war-style novel, where this is the changing of the world, the Great World War between the two leaders, and the world in which they inherit afterwards. You've made that point many times, so I think that's a good observation. And honestly, if you want to make a bad guy character, you don't get better than that, man.
Of course you do.
You think so?
You don't get more grandiose than that.
Okay.
You don't get more stereotypical than that.
And if you're going for a children's novel, grandiose and stereotypical are kind of necessary elements.
I mean, you don't necessarily want a layered villain, but
Okay.
At this point, are we sure she's writing for children?
This did start as a children's novel, yes. At this point, this is a global phenomenon. She is writing for both children and adults. So it is an interesting facet there. You've got a little... Yes, you have a little bit of two things going on here. You're still writing a children's novel, but you're also writing for an adult audience.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you look at it, it's a terrible thing to think about, as the children's novel captivated all the adults, but whatever. It is interesting in that sense, because you have to kind of play both fields.
Which is your favorite novel?
Oh, I'm sure I've changed my mind 50 times, and I'm sure I've said it different many times. The next novel is a good one. It really is.
Would you consider it your favorite?
I would say yes.
At this moment, you would consider it your favorite?
Yes.
So when I tear this apart...
I won't feel that bad. There are some things in the next novel that are so ground-shaking and so changing for the world that we're in here. It's a lasting effect. Because the 7th book is completely different than any other book we've gotten. And it's because of the events that happen in the 6th book.
There's 2 more?
Yes, there are 2 more. So I think it's necessary. I do think Half-Blood Prince is my favorite. Any preliminary thoughts moving forward of who the Half-Blood Prince might be?
Harry Potter is full-blood, isn't he? Both of his parents were witches. A wizard and a witch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
No guesses? Nothing? Okay. So I think it is going to be interesting moving forward to see what you're going to get from the 6th book. You're down 5. I mean, you're on the downward slope. We're getting there. You're almost through.
There's only 2,000 pages left.
And I'm going to throw this out right now, completely unrelated to the reading of these novels, but I really think after you finish the 7th book, we need to go to Florida. Take you to Harry Potter land.
I'm not going to Florida.
Have you walk around Diagon Alley? Have you ride the roller coasters, drink the butter beers? We'll buy you a wand. I think it'd be great. And I think everyone's going to agree with me in the comments.
Don't put that out there. We have no plans to do that. I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to Potterland.
I'm just saying. By a year and a half from now when we finish this up, I might get my way.
Pottertopia.
I might get my way.
No, you're not.
That's my goal on this.
I don't know what. Okay, so here, if we're doing that, how are we doing that? Tell me about the logistics.
The logistics?
You and I are sharing a room?
Sure, why not? I'll sleep on the floor. It's whatever you want. As long as I get you there, that's all you want. So we will be back. We will be starting Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Year 6. I don't know if we're going to start that next week, if we're going to give Adrian a bit of a respite, because I feel like you're drained at this point.
We'll start it next week.
We're going to start it next week?
I can get excited for a new book.
Okay.
I don't think I have that one.
Looks like you're going to have to go to the Barnes & Noble.
Son of a bitch.
Sometimes it's fun to go to Barnes & Noble, especially when you're buying the new Harry Potter book, because just seeing you walk around with it and you put it on the counter, and whoever's selling it to you goes, "Oh, Harry Potter."
No, whoever's selling it to me goes, just like that.
You haven't read this? We haven't sold one of these in 6 years. Everybody read this. But we will be back apparently next week. We will start Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Year 6 of 7. Going to be moving forward with Harry Potter. You feel good about that?
No.
Okay.
We would appreciate it if you like this sort of thing, if you would leave a like, comment, something stupid about Harry Potter and whatever Harry Potter thoughts go through your Harry Potter brain, and Dalton will read them through his Harry Potter beard, and there will be much rejoicing.
I feel like you're just done at that point. You're done. Good for you. All right. That was painful.